I went in for my normal GYN visit in September, and my doctor did a self-exam, she did an exam and found that there was a lump on my left breast, and she said it probably was nothing, just to get it checked, to get a mammogram. So I went home, put the paper aside, and just really didn't think about it, not to ignore it, but just didn't think about it. And my dear friend Sue Romansky, who's probably one of the most non-intrusive people I know, kept bugging me and kept emailing me and calling me and telling me there was something pulling at her, telling her that I needed to go to this visit. So finally I did. It was a month later. I made the appointment on, on November 1st, and on November 2nd I was diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer, which then they upgraded or downgraded, depending on how you look at it, to stage 3 because they had found 3 additional lumps in my behind the original one and the lymph nodes.
We got the phone call about 6 o'clock Friday night, and of course we were just in shock. And almost immediately my whole body just started aching. It was just pain. I can't even explain it, just my whole body was in pain. And of course we started telling people, and that night some people came over and prayed with us. And the next morning was the prayer time for the building campaign, and obviously a lot of that time got spent praying for Kim and me. And it was just amazing that as soon as people started praying for me, that I went from sobbing. I think there's probably still a puddle in that in the sanctuary from where I was crying that morning, to I had this like complete peace, and since then I surprised myself how comfortable I am and how I'm just trusting what God's going to do.
The friendship that Sue and I have with John and Kim is just something you just don't find every day. We've just come so close to where you have a couple that's not in your family, your immediate family, but they feel just as if they are. You could talk to them about anything.
We were talking about my bathroom for some reason, and we had a very bad mold situation that we just could not get rid of. We've been in the house for 9 years, and we'd scrub it and we'd paint it and we would do everything. And John mentioned to us that it will always come back. It's in the drywall and it always come back. And Sue just piped up and said, when you're at your sickest, she goes, that could kill you. And I didn't think anything of it. And one day John called us and said, we're going to do some work. Well, I didn't really know the magnitude of that. So basically they kicked us out, and I lived with my we lived with my mom for a week. And what they did was just beyond amazing.
I would have to say this whole project truly was from God. It didn't come from me, it didn't come from Sue. Though we were the ones who started it, God called us to this. He just put something in my heart that said, you have to do this for them. And instincts just took over. My carpentry skills and everything I have in me was focused on this project to give Kim and John a place where they can go when she's in pain, just to relax, spend some time with her husband, maybe her kids in the tub, and just try to meditate on God and her recovery.
Being in John and Kim's community group, you just kind of look for opportunities to just make their life easier. And I would do anything. Around Thanksgiving, there was a project that a lot of people had a big hand in doing their bathroom, and I spent a lot of time over there with John Romansky, and one morning we were there till 1 in the morning, soldering pipes and just doing anything that I possibly could do.
I was amazed. Once David had sent out an email to the entire church body, we got emails. I was on the computer probably nonstop for 2 days responding to people's offers of help. whether it was on a work day, throughout the next coming weeks, with meals, with all kinds of help, child care, cleaning. It was nonstop, and it was just a blessing to us as well as to the Sklenars to see the love of our church towards one individual.
A lot of you know that I'm unable to come to church right now. Just the doctors suggested or requested that I don't be around a lot of people, but I'll be there soon. But I was standing in the kitchen and I was talking to God, and I was crying and praying. I was just so worried about finances, and medical bills are coming in and regular bills are coming in.
At the end of the second service, somebody came up and handed me an envelope and said, "Somebody asked me to give this to you," and it was not me, but they want to be anonymous. So I put it in my pocket. I figured it was money. I got home and opened it up with Kim in the car, and we were both shocked. There was 5 crisp $100 bills in there. And that prayer, I think, was answered before Kim asked it.
For someone to do that for us, it's just a great, great gift. And God heard my prayers and touched someone's heart. And it's just one of the many miracles and gifts that we've been given throughout this whole thing. And we just can't thank you enough.
One of the things that was really neat about it also is the neighbors were watching. We could see them, and there were people walking by, and we had an opportunity to speak to one of the gentlemen down the street. He wanted to know what was going on, and we were able to tell him that, you know, this was Kim and John's church family, that we were doing this because we loved them, because we cared about them.
Well, I walked outside, and one of my neighbors was there, and I'm not sure if she's a believer or not. But she asked me what was going on, and I told her, and her mouth literally hit the ground. She said, "You mean church people are doing this?" And I said, "Friends." I said, "Family. That's what it's all about." And I have had neighbors come to me, and neighbors talk to neighbors and other neighbors and calling each other, and they are just completely amazed. And that same neighbor from Demolition Day, she has come over my house at least 2 or 3 times. And she said, "I've never been so inspired." She said, "Those people at North are amazing."
So originally when I was sending emails out, I almost had 2 email lists. I had a believer email list and my non-believer email list. And God has really been putting on my heart that I need to share my faith more. And I've combined those 2 lists into one list, and I'm trying to be as open as I can and let those people know how I really feel and how I do trust in God. So I am signing all of my emails trusting in Him, because I am.